Hey everybody, it's Brent again with solutionsforsmallbiz.com, and today I want to do this video about brainstorming. Uh, I think brainstorming is I think it's crucial for success of small businesses, and most people, well, I don't want to say most, but a lot of small businesses don't think about it at all. It's something that either they don't think about it because they don't have maybe that creative mind, or maybe they're uncomfortable with it, or maybe they're not quite sure, what to do or how to do it. So I kind of think about some days when, and I'm sure everybody's had these days, when you're sitting there, it's like Tuesday afternoon or just sometime during the week, and you're staring off, it's just dead. There's nothing going on, there's no business coming in, you're racking your brain trying to figure out what to do, and you're just kind of staring off the wall. And you're looking at the wall, and you just have this blank stare, and you catch yourself, doing it for 5 minutes, just nothing that's going on. I think that is typical with a lot of small businesses that have dead areas and dead times where they don't know how to generate more business. They're trying to figure it out, but they don't. That's where brainstorming comes in. Even the most creative people brainstorm to come up with ideas. It's not like they're just constantly flowing with ideas. They are, but even creative people don't think they have it all figured out. So if you're a type of business owner which thinks that, I don't need to do all that stuff, I've got it all figured out, you don't. And if you have that attitude, that's going to hold your success back. Yes, you may think you're successful and you may have a great business, but it could be even more successful if you're just open to those types of things. So, different things that you can use for brainstorming are, one thing that you can do, which I always strongly encourage, because I think doing this not only helps you, but it helps your business overall. And that is, use your employees, your staff, your sales team. Have your office get involved. Either take them to lunch, or maybe bring lunch in and just have a round table and talk about some of the specific issues you're having. Most of it's always probably sales generation, but maybe there's other things, within the office that you're having problems with, and you're trying to figure out a solution. Sitting down with them and getting them involved makes them feel important and makes them want to work for you. I'm a big believer in not micromanaging people, because I feel like when you micromanage and you're on top of somebody nonstop, that makes them feel like even more stressed than they already are, and they shut down even more. But getting them involved, as a manager, I always wanted people to want to work with me. I wanted them to feel like I was on their side. I wanted them to help me. And having them sit down with you and coming up with different ideas. Are you going to agree with all their ideas? No. There's going to be ideas that people float out that you're just going to think are completely crazy, and that's okay. You don't need to agree with everybody's idea, but don't make them feel small. Otherwise, they won't come up with any more ideas, and you never know, that one person may have the greatest idea since in the last year for your business in one of your future meetings. So don't make them feel small. Just tell them, yeah, what's one way. It's a possibility. Let's put that on the list, and just keep going around. Talk to all the employees. Make sure that you have each person feel like they're involved. I think that's very important. Second tip would be, ask your friends and family. A lot of people have the idea that, well, my friends, they're not in business, or they're not real creative, so it probably wouldn't be worth the ask. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Some of the best ideas that came to me were from people that I would have never guessed in a million years had that idea. Someone that's real introverted and not real outgoing and shy, but man, came up with a great idea. So you'd be surprised. Ask your friends, and asking your friends doesn't have to be a round table session. It could be sorry about that. I'm about to knock the microphone off. That probably sounded real good. It doesn't have to be, a sit down serious conversation. It could be, what, I'm trying to do this with my business. This is not really working out. I'm trying to come up with something a little bit different. What would you think about this? Or maybe you have an idea, so you throw that idea out to them and say, what would you think about if I did something like this? Would that be something that you would see as a positive? And then maybe they come back with, you know what, maybe do that, but maybe take it in a different direction. Get them involved and they're coming up with different ideas. Asking friends and family, if you have the attitude that they're not going to help, that's going to be a big negative, and that's going to keep you from succeeding. So, um, one thing that I always like to help or ask my friends and family when I'm asking them for ideas, I I don't want them to feel like I'm taking advantage of them. So I'm not constantly asking them nonstop, over stuff, because they may get burned out and not want to help either. But that doesn't mean that I won't ask. So I'll always ask my friends and family, every month or two or whatever, if I've got something new. I think that's a great resource. This last one that I've got, might take some getting used to. I know when I first started, I had a real hard time. I didn't know how to ask. But the more I did it, the more I realized, wow, what a great resource. And that's using your current customers. You have customers that come in, all the time if it's in retail, or even if it's a service. You have customers that you see, repeat customers. Talk to them, and I wouldn't say, be careful on how you ask, and you'll know your customers. Some of your customers are, maybe grouchy and not want to help. That's okay. Be careful maybe to who you ask, but just tell them, say, listen, I'm working on something. I'm kind of shaking some things up a little bit. I'm working on something new. I want to do something new for the store, or I want to do something new for my sales team, that came out and saw you. This is what I'm looking to accomplish. What would you think about that? Or how would you feel about this? And maybe give them a couple ideas. Give them something to start, kind of like you did with your friends and family. Give them a few ideas. But then once you do that, listen to their response, because the customers are the ones that are coming to buy your product, right? So why wouldn't you want their ideas on how to improve either your advertising or your selling technique? Maybe you train your salespeople in a certain way, but you have more than one customer say, you might think about the different way they're selling it, because they're approaching me this way, and I didn't really care for that. I like your product, but I didn't really care for that. Listen to your customers. They are the best source of information for you in making changes. And most customers love it when you ask for their input. As long as you're not asking them to sell anything, as long as you're not trying to sell them anything, you're just asking for input, it's a great resource. So I just think brainstorming is a key to success, and a lot of people either A, don't think about it, or B, put it off, or say, I don't really need to do that. I think that's a big mistake. The next time you're finding yourself staring off in the middle of the afternoon because you're, or searching the web and you're really just not focused on your business, think about something you could do to brainstorm. I guarantee if you do that and you continue to do that consistently, you'll increase sales and your business will grow. Until next time, thanks, and have a great day.